the Porsche 917-30. These are two of the turbine-powered Indy cars. Who are you? I couldn't hear you over your pants.
That's right.
But Formula 5000 was a very neat series. This car, the 2A002, will always be my favorite car, followed secondly by the 2E. KW makes the perfect suspension for every demand. Find them in the description below. Today we are at the inaugural American Speed Festival here at the M1 Concourse in Pontiac, Michigan. It's pretty amazing. There is a huge selection of very historically important cars at speed on the track. I mean, we got everything from Formula 5000, Can-Am Shadows. You got Rubens Barrichello's Formula car, come on. You got modern stuff. You got V12 Jaguar GTP cars, which is amazing. You go down to Lola T70s. You got a Coupe, a Mark 3B, and I can't tell if that's a Mark 1 or 2 Spider. Either way, it's cool. And then you go on and you got some modern stuff. You got them showing brand new Radicals, but there's a few things over here I really want to show you guys. I know you're gonna like. So, and I don't know if you'll see it or not, recently I was out in California in a Maserati birdcage, and here, look, here's another one. But for all the fans of you who watch my channel, you'll see one of the Nissan GTP cars here looking beautiful, and my Jabberwock build with the Viper engine is a different iteration of that same racing group. Mine has a little higher downforce body I'm real excited about, but enough of that. Look at this. The Porsche 917-30 with the twin turbo flat 12 that's air cooled. Reputed to be making way over 1,000 horsepower, something like 1,500. An absolute animal, it's gonna be out too. You also got Jackie Stewart's Lola LM car, just an absolute animal. It's so much fun. There's supercars. I mean, we got supercars galore all over. In fact, a lot of them are out on the track right now. And I'm hoping I get to run the Viper again. I got an interview with somebody, so I might actually miss that. But Genius Garage, we're working on the yellow IMSA Corvette of theirs, and I got my Viper here. But we got another GTP car, great to see. McLaren Senna, awesome new supercar. But some of the supercars are out on the track now. We'll get to see them later. But you know, you got everything from a Subaru rally car, you got an Enzo, you got an original 427 Cobra, which is great. And this was a Duntov Mule, a very fair early Corvette. It's a very cool, historically important car. You got 911 rally cars you see right here. And you go in, you just see everything you like. Shelby GT350 Mustangs. You got a NAS truck, because you gotta love that. And coming over here, we got two Lotuses.
Security.
Hey man, I couldn't see you. Your pants were...
Here we are again.
Who are you? I couldn't hear you over your pants.
That's right. How's it going, brother?
I'm good.
You look good.
This is a great event. Rick Shad helped create this entire event, and I love it. So
yeah, we had fun.
We'll see.
You know, a few months ago when we did the little interview.
Oh yeah,
over at the garage.
And, you said I could come in the gate and immediately start drinking, but then I was disappointed because I have to drive race cars.
I said it was pants optional.
I wore my pajamas.
You look good out there.
I don't
today,
have to.
in the number 3.
Except for that one time I put it off the track. See, the problem is every time I'm on the track, I think to myself, well, it's not racing anybody. I should break deeper. I'm being a sissy.
That's right.
And then I find out I wasn't being a sissy, and I can't break deeper.
That's right.
And then I get to take the scenic route.
But man, there's some good cars here, though, right? Some significant
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. We're just walking around checking them all out.
Yeah, I saw you. I figured I'd chase you down.
I appreciate it.
Say hello, and it's nice to see you sober. Casey, I love you.
See you, buddy.
You know,
good
we got
job on the
big
event.
Coming up.
Yes, we do. We'll talk about it.
Great to see you on track.
Appreciate it. All right, Rick Shad. Guys, the Lotuses here are pretty darn neat. I really like seeing these. So you got a Formula Ford, which is a pushrod single cam engine with the 2-barrel Weber carburetor, and then you got a Formula B, which is the twin cam overhead cam engine with the two-barrel Weber carburetor. So it makes a bunch more power, it's got more stick, and is basically the most economical way to pretend you're in the movie Grand Prix, which is a lot of fun. But it just goes on, everything. Boss Mustangs, lots of history from running endurance races and such, Porsches, and some neat oddities here. We've got another Brabham Formula B here on the left, but I really want to show you guys a couple of cars. Center seat Can-Am car. This one's rather neat. If I'm not mistaken, was built with a very early 80s Indy car monocoque. This one has a pushrod Chevy derivative engine in it, and of course bodywork. So it's interesting how racing evolved at that time period. But two cars here I really adore. We got a couple of Formula 5000s, which, and I want to show you this Surtees built one over here initially. But Formula 5000 was a very neat series of the late 60s and through the 70s. It really mirrored Formula 1, but the difference is it had a stock block engine basically. So here you've got a small block Chevy, and this has Weber carburetors for its induction. They sound awesome, they look great, and they're a lot of fun in vintage racing because they're more economical to run. This, of course, the Surtees car has got the stilt wing, which is really neat. It just looks cool, you know, and obviously the classic Surtees paint job, red with the white arrow. But if you look carefully at the monocoque here, you can see all the solid rivets on it, like many aircraft and fighter planes of World War II and whatnot. So you just got to admire the craftsmanship of cars from that time period. And that car right there is a big favorite of mine. But there's a really good display of Indy cars here as well. And the first thing you're going to notice are the big Indy Roadsters of the late 50s to early 60s. And these are just absolutely classic. You can see them at Indy Motor Speedway Museum, but today you get to see them at the American Speed Festival, which is fantastic. I love seeing race cars out in the wild and where they belong. But here's a couple of really special cars. These are two of the turbine-powered Indy cars. Granatelli cars, the Lotus Wedge cars, and you can see the massive exhaust stack here, right behind the driver's head. They're surprisingly quiet. Obviously got a very neat monocoque chassis, but how these work is, it is in fact a jet engine. But the thrust that the jet engine or gas generator creates is directed internally upon another turbine. And that turbine gets spun by the pressure generated by the thrust internally, which then drives a set of planetary reduction gears to an output shaft that eventually drives the rear wheels. So it is in fact a jet turbine engine, but drives the car through actually spinning the wheels. So that's how that works. I know a lot of people get confused. It's not powered by thrust externally against the air. It's powered by thrust internally against the turbine driving the rear wheels. But this is something really neat here. You get into the late era of the Offenhauser engines that were turbocharged. And that's just so cool. We're just breezing by it, you guys. There's so many great pieces of history. Obviously some exotic cars. But this has always been a really neat Indy car design and chassis. This is Parnelli Jones's car, Viceroy sponsored, turbo Offenhauser. But isn't this fascinating how they experimented with the aerodynamics and even the nature of this chisel nose with the suspension and the pickups for the upper A-arm here. It's beautiful to see. And while it may not have been the most successful Indy car ever, it's darn interesting, and it's really cool to see it on the track too. And my goodness gracious, we got an Eagle done by Penske that was driven by Mark Donohue. And if you guys remember when I drove Parnelli Jones's 69 Boss 302 Mustang, Mark Donohue was one of the guys at the time period also. They're fighting it out. So all those classic battles were great fun to see, and it's awesome to see the cars out here now. This is a neat car. And here it is, says right here, last surviving fabulous Hudson Hornet of fame from the cartoon movie Cars. The last one out here running. It is a big old lumbering beast by comparison to many of these others. But how wonderful is it to see that? You know what I mean? And here, this is huge. I think I may do a video specifically on it. But this car is a race car from 1901. And it was Henry Ford's race car that helped him, if I am not mistaken, actually get investors to build this little car company that totally wasn't successful. But yeah, Henry Ford's race car from 1901, which is being ran and driven around the track this weekend. It's pretty amazing. Just look where you sit and hang on. And apparently it'll do like 70 some miles an hour. And we're seeing them out on the track. And I'm like, honestly, that thing looks fast as can be for what it is. It's pretty amazing. You should see it run. In fact, this giant starting contraption with the tires spins it to start it, and there's a giant flywheel under there. It's amazing. It's like starting a racing motorcycle or even a go-kart in that capacity. There's a few neat ones over here I really like from when I was a kid. But we've got a mid-80s Unser Turbo Cosworth Indy car of course, the very famous Domino's Pizza red, white, and blue livery there. But two cars that I adore from history is this Gurney Eagle mid-1960s Indy car that's powered, if you want to see, by the 4-cam Indy car engine. Obviously burning methanol, but the 4-cam you can see from the trumpets here between the valve covers, or excuse me, the cam covers and the exhaust up top. But very beautiful, very similar to that same time period. You know, Jimmy Clark won in a Lotus 38. It's kind of similar construction. And actually this car and this car are currently owned by Bobby Rahal, who is here exhibiting them. So it's very cool. And obviously the Porsche 906, just great fun car on bias ply Dunlop tires. Very lightweight with that Porsche engine, mid-engine, and a whole lot of fun to drift around and make things go. Something else that's actually pretty neat. So look at this, we got a NASCAR, which there's lots of NASCARs, but the cool part about this is the guys running it are all real neat, real guys that raced and developed everything, and a lot of them actually developed the early Dodge Vipers and the Dodge Viper racing cars, similar to what I have, as well as another gentleman has brought just over here, and learn a lot from the guys. They're helping me out with some of the Viper stuff, meeting the students and just having a great time there. And that's just a little taste of what we got. The Chaparrals are out right now in the paddock. We got to take the Corvette out, so I want you guys to see a 360 video, and then we're going to finish this with the Chaparrals. Yes, but let's talk to the students real quick. Come on. It's not everybody, but a lot of people. And Doug is here. What's up, people? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, why is that?
Because you're the first victim.
Oh, lovely. First victim of the day?
So, a fun thing. Were you here when Jim Hall Jr. liked Dylan's cowboy hat?
Yes, I was.
How was that? Because he's so
good.
quiet.
Hey, you thanked him.
Yeah, I like that. So, come here, California cowboy.
Yeah.
So this man always wears a cowboy hat. Why do you wear a cowboy hat?
I like it.
Cowboys don't talk a lot. Anyway, so the Chaparrals are here, and Jim Hall's son, Junior, was here. Apparently came up and liked the hat because his dad always used to wear one race. It was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. So, do we figure out why we're losing fuel pressure?
Well, we haven't torn to the regulator because you said you wanted to be here when we did it.
Let's tear it apart.
You need to go to a meeting.
Oh, I gotta go to an interview. Yeah. Let's tear it apart right now. Okay, we gotta work and then go on track, and hopefully it's better. Yes. All right, you guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed doing a ride along with the Genius Garage IMSA GTO Corvette here at the American Speed Festival. But I wanted to show you the best for last 4 of the original Chaparrals. First of all, this car, my favorite car of all time. I don't care if it's exotic, I don't care if it's a race car, I don't care what category it is. This car, the 2A002, will always be my favorite car, followed secondly by the 2E. Guys, I'm not going to go on about every detail about their history, but you got to look it up. I know a lot of you already know exactly what they are, but it's just so awesome to have them here in real life, out driving. You get to hear it, and it just warms the heart to see the family out, because frankly, Jim Hall and these Chaparrals, even though I never got to see them run originally, as a young man, inspired me greatly for the engineering, for the building. And when I was a kid, I would study and study these to understand the engineering and everything going on, and that's what helped make me me. And frankly, studying this car right here and the materials that went into it and how they did it is what actually led me on my own research to build the Omega car, to build a recycle mass production technique. So guys, I hope it inspires you too. They're gonna take them out right now. So I think I'm gonna go have some fun, but American Speed Festival here, inaugural at the M1 Concourse. I hope to see you guys here next year if you weren't here already. Hit the bell, subscribe. See you next time. thank you to Crushproof Tubing Company. Since 1949 in Macomb, Ohio, they've been manufacturing custom rubber and plastic tubes for every industry imaginable. No tooling or mold costs, fast and free custom samples, and American-made quality is what sets them apart. But for me, I'm most excited about their exhaust evacuation kit. Different modular pieces and their convoluted custom hoses make it so that I can adapt any car, truck, or motorcycle with an internal combustion engine to get those exhaust gases out of my shop so I can keep working in safety and comfort. But beyond just that, they build a variety of hoses for a custom OEM world. You'll see stretchable drain tubing and bellows, as well as agriculture, medical, and military. So again, guys, Crushproof Tubing Company, crushproof.com, and go down in the description below to see where to get your free samples for industry or your exhaust tubing.